Hello everyone. Now I'm going to present to you the different parts of a research proposal paper. So the sole purpose of this video lecture is just to get all of you oriented with the parts of a proposal paper. Now before we begin, let me emphasize that you do not anymore need to think of a particular topic for your research proposal. You just need to create a proposal paper based on your backyard research. And of course, I presented to you as well last activity the two research problems that you have to address. So, kato ra gihapon ninyo hang i-address diri ang research problem sa proposal paper. Okay? Katong sa backyard research. Now, what are the parts of a research proposal paper? So the first part here, we have the title page. Of course, your proposal paper is an academic paper, thus it needs to be presentable. Okay? So, sa may format sa title page ninyo. So here's the format for your title page. By the way, you are going to use Arial as your font style with a size of 12 for your proposal paper. So the first line here, of course, the title, and just omit these lines. Okay, so the first line is your title, and here the name of researchers or researcher, your name, and then your um, subject teacher. So this is my name, Warren T. Pondo. So the last line for your title page should be the date when you submitted or when you are going to submit your proposal paper. So our deadline is on June 28th, that's Monday, and um, your date here should not be over June 28th. Okay, it should be on or earlier than June 28th. Again, just omit these lines. No need to copy these lines. So for the next part, you have the table of contents. Okay? So unsa itsura sa table of contents? So gamiton gyapon nato ning sample SIP. So this is how the table of contents looks like. Now, you just have to omit acknowledgement, abstract, list of tables, and list of figures. Okay? However, if you are going to include in your locale a particular figure like a map, so you have to include list of figures here because maps belong to the list of figures for the table of contents. Again, omit this one, abstract as well, list of tables, and list of figures. Pero kung naamoy map, ayaw ra ni siya i-omit ang list of figures kay diri man ninyo ibutang ang map under siya sa list of figures. Okay? Again, we are talking about table of contents. Now, for the research proposal, there are only two parts. Okay? Major parts na inyuhang himuon gyud. Part 1 is all about introduction, mao na ning background of the study, statement of the problem, hypothesis, significance of the study, scope and limitations of the study, definition of terms. And the second part is the methodology. So, nadiri ang locale and duration. Kani, dili man ninyo kinahanglan because this is a specific procedure sa kaning type of study. Okay? So ang inyong ipuli diri materials and procedures. Anyway, ato ra na i-discuss later on sa nga mga parts. So, what I'm trying to emphasize here, duha lang gyud ang major parts sa proposal paper. The next part man good is kaning third and fourth na nadiri ang results and discussion sa results, analysis sa data, no? And then, ang fourth part mo na ning conclusion, finding, summary, recommendation. So, dili pa na ninyo trabaho kay proposal paper pamanta. So, proposal paper kutob ra gyud diri sa introduction and methodology. Okay? So, that's it for the table of contents. By the way, inyong gamiton diri ang section sa numbering, sa page numbers, you have to use Roman numeral lowercase. However, for this part here, you will use Hindu-Arabic format. For the next part, introduction. So, muna to ang giyong ganihan no, ng mga parts sa introduction. Letter A, you have the background of the study. Saning background of the study. From the word background, it simply implies a short discussion on really is the problem and why do you need to solve the problem in such a way. And you are going to present sort of um, bridge between the gap of knowledge here, no, sa background of the study. Now, there's a sample here, kani, about, by the way, this study is all about cytotoxicity, genotoxicity, and anti-angiogenic activity of tagbak, Alpinia elegans rhizome extract. So, mo ni iyahang background of the study. According to the World Health Organization, the major cause of death in the world, which takes estimated of 9.6 million lives in 2018, is cancer. So the first sentence really hits the problem, no, that the researcher wanted to address, or the study aims to solve, no. So cancer. Anyway, you can have this format pod in the creation of background sa inyong study, no? Pwede mo subay ani nga format. There are a lot of ways in creating background of the study. Kaning iyaha is deductive approach, meaning from general to specific. Now, sa first paragraph, iya lang gi specify ang sakit nga cancer o unsa ka daghanon ang naapektuhan niini. For the second part, hinahinay na siya introduce sa somehow the way that cancerous cells or receive nutrients for their growth. So the process of angiogenesis. Go back to the Philippines, introduction sa Philippines nga daghan siya og mga plants because it is situated in the tropic region. That's why it's called a tropical country. Okay, and gi-introduce na niya ginahinay diri ang Alpinia elegans known as tagbak sa kaning nga part. So talking all the the issues, the possible answer to the issue or the problem, after that kanina dayong last nga lines. So ang tawag ani is plan of attack. Hence the researchers were prompted to conduct this study to evaluate the cytotoxicity, genotoxicity, and anti-angiogenic activity of Alpinia elegans rhizome extract. This will serve as basis in developing a potential cancer or anti-cancer drug that is safe and effective. So, sa diri nga part, simply, um, inyohan na lang i-state ang inyohang main objective sa nganong himuon ninyo ning study. Okay? So, in relation to your study, dili na naka-complicated yung study kay backyard research naman siya. Okay? You don't need to go to a laboratory, conduct testing, no? So, ang inyong hara is mura siya biodiversity ra gid siya sa plants. Identification of species, no? So kana araman. Now next part is the statement of the problem. If you can still recall, I gave you two problems for your backyard research activity. Okay. Now you can use those two problems, and you also have option to create another problem. If you want to add some more problems, pwede ra pod. Pwede ra pod og katorag yun. Okay? So, una, statement of a problem. By the way, mao ni ang inyuhang main goal. Mao ni ang inyuhang problem nga kinahanglan i-address, no? Mao ni ang soul sa inyuhang research paper. Kung dili ninyo ni ma-address nga problem, ang inyuhang research paper is wala siya kuan, walay bili. Kay ang intention sa research is to create solution or to solve a particular problem. Okay? So, naampo diri ano, by the way, before you write the specific problems, you need to create first a preliminary statement. So, what is a preliminary statement? Kani mo ni siya preliminary statement. So, in this example, this study aimed to determine the anti-angiogenic potential of Alpinia elegans, meaning iyaharang gi-state diri ang general objective sa kaning study. Your specific problems mo na tong interrogative form problems. So mo na ning what are the phytochemical constituents present in Alpinia elegans rhizome extract. So question form na ning mga specific problems ninyo. Kaning general form nga problem is naka-objective format siya. Okay? Now hypothesis. For the hypothesis, not all problems, by the way, ang basis ninyo sa creation sa hypothesis is ang inyuhang statement of the problem. But not all problems can be hypothesized. Like for this example, kanirang sa sample SIP kanirang number 6 ang iyahang na hypothesize. Okay? Why? It's because basically if you are going to use statistical method, no? Kung magamit kag statistical method, usually sa mga statistical methods, ilahang mo answer sila sa hypothesis. Mo decide sila sa mo hatag sila decision sa hypothesis nimo. So, kung ang imuhang problem is dili kinahanglan gamitan og mga statistical or higher statistical tools, it will follow nga dili pud siya mahimuan og hypothesis. Okay? So again, dili tanan problem ay mo hypothesis. Now, in your case, since katuramang backyard research inyong gamiton, no need for a hypothesis. Okay? So, ano, again, kung mogamit mo og kani this problem, since iyahang i-measure ang difference between the two setups sa kaning problem, yung tanawon kung unsa significant or dili ang numbers. So, mogamit ta diriya og statistical tools. However, sa inyuha dili naman na ninyo buhaton nga kuan pag significant difference. It's because you are just you're simply gathering data through your observations. Kay biodiversity raman sa plants ang inyuhang i-conduct nga research proposal. Okay? So, this hypothesis, pwede ra na nato i-omit, no? Pwede ra pod ipabilin na ninyo, pero wala siya sulod. Now, for the significance of the study, so from the word significance, no? State lang ninyo diha kinsay mga beneficiary sa inyong study. Kung succeed inyong study, kinsay mga beneficiaries. So that's for the significance of the study. Pwede basahan lang ninyo ang sample. Okay? And next, scope and limitations. So, scope and limitations of the study simply identify the parameters of the study. Now, for example, this one, sa kaning study. The study is limited only in investigating the cytotoxicity, genotoxicity, and anti-angiogenic activity of Alpinia elegans. So, basically, inyo hara dering ilimit kung asa ra kutob inyong studyhan. Okay? Ang mga procedures, gamay, no? So, muna siya scope and limitations of the study. Basically, ang inyong harang parameters sa study, like, um, unsang unsa nga mga tanom, no? Ah, like kanus-a. So, na element of time, place, subject. Unsa nga subject, unsa nga tanom inyong sabihan, no? So, mo na ang scope and limitation. Again, na siya element of time, place, and subject. So, last sa introduction is ang definition of terms. So, simply, define lang yung terms na gigamit ninyo sa inyong study. Especially, kanang nasa inyong title, kinahanglan ma-define ninyo ng mga terms. Not all terms, no, na nasa inyong title, but katurang mga important terms nga nasa inyong title, like Alpinia elegans, unsa na siya nga species, is it a plant or an animal, no? You have angiogenesis, unsa na siya nga process, angiogenesis, anti-angiogenesis, bioassay, etc. So, tanan mga process diya, kinahanglan i-define na ninyo. Okay? By the way, ang definition of terms na to, it can be defined operationally and or no, or it can also be defined conceptually or both. Okay? So, pwede operational meaning kung giunsa nimo siya paggamit. Okay? That will be the basis for your definition of that particular term. Conceptually is kung unsay nasa libro, mga concepts sa kanang nga term. Okay? Now, for the second part of your research proposal, that's methodology. By the way, sa inyong sample paper, dili methodology ang title or ang pangalanan ng section, materials and methods. So, for our subject, we'll use methodology. Kaya nga naman, ang methodology man good, ang scope niya is tulura. So, sa SIP, you have this, locale and duration of the study, letter B, materials, and letter C, procedure. So, for the local, pwede mo mag um, screenshot sa Google Map, i-paste niyo dire sa local, no? And butangan yung figure, unsa siya nga figure. Kung siya pa pinakuna nga figure, figure 1 na siya. So, for the local, you need to specify the location of your site, kung asa mo ang nag-conduct or nag-experiment, and also the time or the date, no? So, next is materials. Simply, diri sa kaning sample study, walay materials. Ngano man, ang ilahang magong study is daghan kay process. So what we did, amo ang gi-isa-isa ang mga processes, mga sub-processes, and diha na namo gipang-mention unsa na mga um, materials ang gigamit sa pag-conduct ana nga process, pag-perform ana nga process. Okay? So, for your study, materials lang. Sa nga mga materials. By the way, ang pagka-construct ani is dili siya list. Dili nang i-list ninyo ang materials or i-bullet ninyo ang materials. No. Dapat naka-sentence form or paragraph form na siya. Okay? The same with the procedure. Sa procedure po, dili po pwede nga inyuhan na siyang i-numbering. No? Step number 1, dili. Sa procedure, dapat naka sentence or paragraph form na siya. Pareho ra gud ani diri sa sample research paper ninyo. So diri anay treatment of experimental onion bulbs. the experiment was conducted in a laboratory with room temperature specified ninyo ana. So nag-observe mo cell division sa onion roots, etc. etc. So naka-paragraph form na siya ang inyuhang procedure. So I guess that would be all for the um that would be all, no? And if you have some more clarifications or questions, feel free to message me on our GC or even privately. Okay, so I'll respond to your queries. Again, the deadline for the proposal paper will be on June 28th. And by the way, let me cut in lang ang inyong gamiton nga size sa paper is A4, no? So A4 size, and then it should be printed, and no need for a folder. However, if you wanted to put your output in a folder, much better. Kana lang folder good nga one paper lang pod siya nga baga. Okay, kanang white folder. Okay, so that would be all, and God bless. Keep safe, everyone.